Thank you so much for joining us for our final session between Lonnie and Arthur's Blue Couch session. They are such an amazing couple, and I'm so glad that they agreed to do this interview. I hope that you've enjoyed the last three. This is our final one. I want to hear what your thoughts are, what you think about, discuss some really important and serious topics in marriage. I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and I can't wait to hear what they have to say on this final session. I'll see you at the end of the video. Bye. Your opinion, what does it look like being married in the image of God?
I mean, just trying to display his characteristics, right? I think we talk a lot about how God was willing to sacrifice, how God was willing to really care for the people of the church. How many times in the Bible do we see that he forgave the same people that he had to call out of sin? So I feel like if me and Lonnie are looking to, um, I guess, recreate that image of God, then it means that we have to do that in our own relationship, where we look to forgive each other, where we look to sacrifice for one another, and then also God willing, when we have a child, to teach those same principles to them. I feel like we have to set that precedent of making sure that we create an environment that's conducive for um, raising a child in the image of God. Continuing to procreate, and then pass on those ideas as well, so that they spread, so that they grow. At least for me, that's kind of the take I have on in terms of what it looks like to be living in the image of God, and to procreate in the image of God.
Agreed. Sounds good. Lonnie Arthur, thank you so much for hanging out with me and for taking the time and reading the pages, that I sent you. I really appreciate that. Do you guys have any questions for me? What you read, or are you waiting to see the whole book?
I want to see the whole book.
Sounds good.
I want to know more about the roles of the men. Like, break it down. What does a priest look like?
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a woman who's more spiritual than you, then what is your role? Because I know I broke it down for the provider, but I'm looking like, okay, then what does the man do? If I don't want to say godly individual, but she's the one that likes to like lead out in worships, and she's the one that likes to initiate the Bible studies and things of that nature.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek right now.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think that's in the book.
Okay.
No, that's a fantastic point. Now, I'm also working on the workbook, so maybe I'll sneak that in.
Yeah.
Right?
Do.
As a question. But in my opinion, um, when it comes to being a priest, it doesn't necessarily mean that the man is more spiritual. It just means that he takes the head as the sacrifice. He puts himself out there on the line. He's the one who goes to the Father on behalf of the family, on behalf of his wife, right? And so one of the ways you can see that is with Deborah, in the Bible. It says she was a prophetess. She was a judge in Israel, and so the men and people went to her. But even when it was time to go out into war, into battle, she was like, the man has to step forward because this is the role God's giving you. But the man was too scared, right? And he said, I won't go unless you come with me. And she's like, okay, I'll come with you, but God's already given you the victory. You need to lean and trust on God. And because you were unable to fulfill your role, God's going to give victory to a woman. Now, everything that's being discussed really is bonus. This is just like the extra. So this is 100% my opinion, but I would love to hear from you if you agree or not, especially with this aspect about the man being unable to fulfill his role, so God gave victory to a woman. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Even though you will win the battle, your name won't be celebrated. It will be a woman. And as you continue to read the story, it was a woman named Jael who actually went in and took a spike to the temple of the king. When Barak was the one who could have taken over, but he was too scared to take that front role. When Adam had the opportunity to be the priest, to be the mediator between himself and his wife, he was like, nah, it's all about me. So being a priest of the home is being able to mediate and put yourself out there. It doesn't mean that you're more spiritually endowed, right? So the women were very well endowed when it comes to the scriptures, right? Because they're the ones who were teaching the children. So, but the point of a man being the priest is that you're willing to sacrifice yourself. You're willing to go forward. The high priest was the one who went into the most holy place once a year in Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. And if he was not right, he would die. But his role was to bring all the sins of the people, saying, God, forgive us.
To be that sacrifice.
Yeah, so to be the priest, so maybe I could have made that clearer. But you guys will see it. You guys will let me know. We can do a follow-up. But the perspective that I have is being a priest does not mean that you're more spiritually endowed. It just means that you're willing to sacrifice yourself first.
Beautiful. Thank you. I like it.
Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for sticking till the end. I am so honored that they would spend that time with me and that you would spend this time with me. Currently, the Power of the Gospel, I hope you can see it. Yes. The Power of the Gospel in Your Relationships is out and available on Amazon. And I just want to thank you to all of you that's already purchased the book and have shared it with others. In the description box we'll have a link if you want to check it out. The workbook actually comes out officially March 1st. So if you want to have the workbook to go along with it, it's the companion guide. It's available now, really. But the grand reveal actually comes out March 1st, but it's available on Amazon now if you want to take a look at it. And thank you so much for hanging out with us and for supporting me. And please don't forget to keep me in your prayers. And I have some really exciting news. We've reached over 100 subscribers. Guys, didn't think we were going to make it to 100 people before a year, and so I'm super stoked. And thank you so much for subscribing and for sharing and for being a part of the Enoch 365 Reading Between the Lines family. I love you all, and I can't wait to spend some more time with you. And please let me know what you think about the book. Leave a review on Amazon. And thanks so much, guys. Have a great one. Bye.